Hi, I'm Luke. I'm a pro muso, sort of playing for a few bands like Mike and the Mechanics and The Script. And today I'm down here with the Mod X series at Absolute Music in Bournemouth, and just going to show you what it can do. It's an amazing instrument. You should come down and check it out. This is the MODX8, which is the 88 note version, piano weighted keys. Fantastic new range that is got the same sort of synthesis engines as in the Montage, the top of the range. So it's got the AWN sounds, which are the beautiful acoustic sort of things like the pianos, the electric pianos, the organs, the strings. And these are all from the classic sort of Yamaha catalogue that's used in the Montage. And that's sort of like a lot of the AWM. So some great things with this, it's still got the super knob, for example, so I can have a sound here and I can start blending it. So I've got like a nice 80s electric piano behind it, or move all the way over. The classic sort of DX7 electric piano there. It's got the same sort of way you can find sounds as the Montage, which is great. You can choose category and say, I want a guitar. I just choose guitar, I want an acoustic guitar. And you just got all these guitars to choose from. I can just pick one there. And the great thing as well, you can always get to things so quickly like reverb. So here I've got some reverb here. Beautiful ones. You can add things like delay. And the great thing about this super knob is you can actually add as much things as you want to it. Just keep piling on the parameters, so it could be anything from cutoff to delays. On this one, I've gone from nothing, and I put both those on so I can have reverb and the delays at the same time. Some great organs. So you've got your Hammond sounds. Again, I can choose organ. I want tone wheel. Just choose a Hammond. Leslie effect. And on here today we've got some drive. And on a lot of the sounds as well, you've got this sort of seamless changing. So I've got this bit organ running now, and I can go to a different sound, and I've got it here now. So that's a lot of the AWM2 sounds, which are fantastic. We've got strings. So for example, I can bring in strings. I can choose, let's choose chamber. Some beautifully sort of lush sounds, and obviously you can put a piano behind that and all things like that. For example, another viola here. Very much this sort of solo thing there. And as we bring the super knob down, which I can do on my foot as well, you can actually bring in more of a chamber. And then move to the solo. Well, actually, it's just changing other things there, but some quite beautiful sounds. And that's just all in one side of the synthesis engine called the AWM2, and there's a completely separate one of the FMX, which is frequency modulation, which is what you find in the DX7 classic synths and the SY77s. And that frequency modulation is a huge way of making a number of sounds, massive amounts of synth power in this. For example, the DX7's only got 6 operators, and this has got 8. Let me find you a sound just to show you how it can work. So I've got some here. different sounds. So these are all just purely FMX. Again. Some quite amazing sounds. There's, I'll show you how. This is a great thing here. So this can actually show you how it works. Maybe bring this in. For example, so we've got our 8 operators here showing no sound at the moment. I can bring up 8 and it's just very simple sine wave. But this shows the power that something like this can do over the DX7, where you can actually in real time bring in other operators and make big synth sounds that you can affect. And that's just 2 operators as opposed to using all 8, which I think is fantastic. Other things that this can do is the control, the different ways you can do the same thing. So I was on a gig I've got to do soon, I've got to do some side chaining and trying to work out the different ways you can do it. So for example, you can side chain on something you're actually playing yourself, which is quite cool. So you've got the synth side chaining. But you might not want to hear the kick, so you can always lose the kick and have, or you can put it on an ARP. Which is pretty neat. One of the things I wanted to show you on the MODX series, which is amazing, and this also can be done on the montage. It's one of the big features that Yamaha have managed to do, is the way that it can treat audio coming in as well. So for example, I've talked a lot about side chaining because it happens so often these days in popular music. And so if I bring in, I've got basically my iPad just playing 4 to the floor again, going into the AD in, and I can turn it on here. And we've got that coming in. The great thing about this Yamaha is I can literally turn it down and stuff if I want to. So as that comes in, I can actually say to the instrument, I want a side chain around this. So I'll show you if I break this. So it's purely on what's coming in. So that means, for example, that could be your drummer's kick in a live situation. It could be from your DAW, and it could be the click coming in, which means that you're in real time playing along, and your keyboard, you don't have to worry about other things. It's always going to be in time because it's a physical thing coming in. So again, some amazing effects that can be done with that. So obviously I can just show you if I slow it down. And the great thing about this, the engine that does this, there you go, is inside here you can also do this, which is amazing, I think. So if I just choose a random strings, stick the ARP on. So in here, in the utility, I've got a few options to sync. So MIDI sync inside, I can have an internal clock. So literally it is just going whatever the keyboard says it is. I can do MIDI, and then that's going to be on what your MIDI, so your Logic or your Pro Tools might be chucking in. And or I can use this one, so I can use the AD in. And again, if I choose something to play through it and turn it on and bring it in. So now what I've got is just a simple drum beat coming in, and that could be a DJ playing something in. And I've got my ARP on. And as you can hear, the ARP's in time, and I haven't set it up to do anything in time. What I can do is I can turn down the dry send there, and over here, in real time. It's just reading what's coming in. So you can be in a live situation and let your arpeggiator actually follow what other things are going on around, which is amazing. You're actually taking away, you're not stuck to a click. If you didn't want to be stuck to a click, that could be the drum as a mix actually coming straight in. And it's just reading the audio, reading the transients, and setting the tempo of the internal clock to that. So that could be delays as well. So if I had that going, I'm sure, here. So if I bring in a guitar with delays, bring the mix up. So for example, now I speed it up. Oh, that's why it's sounding a bit weird. The actual drums are going through the delay as well. So now the guitar, whatever speed I put that on, that delay is staying in time with it. It's not the clearest, not the best performance, but I just think that's amazing that we're not stuck to the old styles of rigid tempos and just by what you're sending in through the AD here, which is very clever. Other sounds. The great thing is, if you're a piano player, you've got a ton of different sounds you can do. I love this one, it's quite 80s. I can like on the foot pedal, on the super knob here. Quite sort of great. Obviously, lots of beautiful electric pianos from Rhodes to the tremolo. And a lot of these sounds you can quickly switch using scenes to what else? So some great, if you're doing production music or arranging, you can just say, okay, I really need some brass, and then just got so much to choose from here. It's quite a fantastic thing. So you've always got something that you might want to use that you can actually. Some quite cool effects, woodwind, bassoon 3. Which is great if you're working from home and you need every sound almost conceivable that you could put into something. So how the keyboard works, this is 192 note polyphony. It's got its own dedicated sound card, so you can chuck in your DAW or a main stage and control it by its own separate volume. It's got 768 megabytes of flash RAM that doesn't die when you turn it off, so you can put your own samples, your own sounds in. And you can also download from Yamaha or from external places your friends' sounds or third-party things. So, for example, in this one, I actually have, I've got a bunch in my category search. Here we go. I've got CS80, so I've got a ton of the classic CS80 synth sounds. And actually, at the studio I work, we've got a CS80 and it's the most beautiful synth, but it weighs 100 kilos, it's about 30 grand and it's never in tune. Well, one every 2 days it's in tune. So here we got some great sounds that you'll recognize from Stevie Wonder and all sorts. It's great for basses. Also in this we've got the DX7. I think the MODX8, you can also get the Bösendorfer samples that you've seen in the montage and in some of their home upright pianos, which is Bösendorfers are some of the most beautiful pianos in the world. This is the DX7 sort of strings, which are like the classic 80s. We've already played one of the electric pianos, but some great basses. That's almost Seinfeld. Yep, and as I say, this is the 88. So when it comes to pianos, there's just so much you can choose from sort of classic uprights to the big lush grands to this is an FM one ragtime piano. So kind of like a toy type thing. The CP80, the classic Yamaha thing that Phil Collins played on nearly everything. What else have we got in here? Just tons of different piano sounds. So that was a very mellow one. If you wanted more rocky stuff, there's a great one in here I found the other day that I used on the recording. So it's like really compressed. Sort of sound is quite like it's been done on a record. Old blues. Actually, and one of the new functions on this keyboard, which is not even on the montage, is you have the rhythm button here. And so you can just press this one button and then you can choose a kit and you're literally then just away if you want to just play to yourself or you're doing gigs. And then we have different ARP selections. So that will change the what the drummer's doing, and you don't have to ask him twice either, which is good. Okay, and also using the rhythm pattern, which is a great feature, kind of similar to what we were doing earlier with the side chaining, is we can choose something very simple. For example, just a 4 on the floor dance floor kit, and we've got the synth there, we've got the kick just going around, but we've got this new button as well inside here, envelope follower. And I can turn that on and already the synth is just side chaining around that. We can tap tempo, what we want it might to do. And so this is great. It can do that. We can do it with, that's doing volume. We can easily do cut off, do resonance, you can do actually, you can do some quite random stuff. So if I choose a more exciting kit, so now it's following that, but we don't actually have to use volume or anything like that. We could make it do some really random things. So we could say, actually, do you know what? We're going to do pitch, and we can do. And another great thing is, you might not want to hear the drums, so we can say, you know what, let's not hear any of those drums. And then we've just got the keyboard just following something that you're not even hearing. You get some quite cool effects from it. And that can obviously just be with the very simple side chaining as well. Yeah, so that's the MODX series. There's the 8, the 7 and the 6. One of the great things is that we haven't mentioned is just they're so light. 14 kilos for the 88, as opposed to the Montage is 27, so you have to be a bit stronger to pick the Montage up. The little one's about 6 kilos, and just huge amounts of power at a great price point, and they're in the shops now, and yeah, pretty amazing.